Working in learning and development sphere, I've noticed one challenge that is extremely common. Companies invest heavily in online training. However, they struggle to make it practical. They might create some courses, upload some materials, but at the end of the day, learners do not use these materials and information given in their performance. It's not that learners aren't motivated or that the content isn't useful at all. Mm-mm. The most common reason for that is online training focuses on continuous education and basically consuming information. Obviously, it's important. But what is even more important is that you actually practice the knowledge that you receive. Online training is everywhere: courses, videos, certifications. But here's the real question: why do people complete training and still struggle to actually apply what they learned? Let's break it down and, more importantly, understand how to fix it. Most online training is built around content, and you go through materials, maybe you pass a quiz, and you move on. But real work doesn't look like that. And obviously, you're handling conversations, you make decisions, you respond in real time, and you adapt to different situations. And if your training doesn't simulate that, it's very hard to build actual skills. So, issue is not access to the learning, it's the lack of practice. To make training effective, you need to shift from learning to practicing because skills are built through the practice. First, you really need to come up with some practical exercises like simulations. After, learners would need to receive their feedback, they need to understand their gaps, they would need to understand where to improve and what went well. And obviously, repetition, because in ideal world, all of this should happen before someone faces a real situation. The first step is simple: give people a chance to actually do the skill. For example, instead of just teaching how to handle a difficult customer, you create a scenario where they have to respond and engage. This is where tools like AI Roleplay and Educate Me come in. You can simulate real conversations inside your training. A learner can interact with an AI and respond naturally, see how the situation evolves, and it feels much closer to real life than traditional learning. And most importantly, it's safe. They can try different approaches, make mistakes, and improve without pressure. Step 2. One attempt is never enough to build a skill. People need repetition. With a Play, learners can go through the same type of scenario multiple times, experimenting with different responses, and gradually improve. The repetition is what builds confidence. Step 3. Add smart feedback. Now, practice alone isn't enough. Without feedback, improvement is slow. As we've seen, AI Roleplay could give you the feedback, but as well, AI assessment in Educate Me is really powerful. Instead of checking if someone remembers the information, it evaluates how well they actually understand the topic. It adapts to answers, asks deeper questions, and highlights gaps. The final step is making sure training connects to real situations. After practicing in a safe environment, learners can apply those skills in actual conversations or tasks. So, if you want online training to actually work, focus on the following things. Don't just deliver content, but create opportunities to practice. Don't measure completions, but actually measure understanding and performance. And do not treat learning as one-time event, since this is a continuous process that is very important to keep up with. And obviously, tools that we discussed today, like AI Roleplay or AI assessment, these are something that could make this much easier to implement. However, the key idea is simple. Skills are built by doing, not by watching.